God, it's been how long since the October since our last show? Because retail got in the way and I had to have my entire life put on fucking hold because of my job. Anyway, welcome back to the show as we're from the comfort of our own homes. Um,
I
because
normally don't live stream, but when I do, I only drink the best. Thank you.
The choice of a new generation.
Gotta have it. Maybe I can get some product placement going
not
on.
the old. I wish they would bring back the old Diet Pepsi logo with the lions through it, like the 80s.
With the lions in it?
Oh right, yeah. I forgot about that was the
late 80s, early 90s, when they also referred to when they had Slice as the lemon lime and the orange soda.
I miss Slice.
I tell you what, Starry's actually pretty good. It's still not as sugary as Sprite, and it's not as like low flavor like Sierra Mist was. So they've kind of struck a pretty good balance there. I forget what Slice tastes like because the only reason I remember it is seeing it at like roller rinks and like arcades and shit back in the early 90s. Hey kids, welcome to three old white guys from New Jersey talk about the past.
How dare you call me
podcast on Earth?
How dare you call me old? I am old though. Anyway, what's up, Jackie? Our friend Jackie's watching us, and again, you can check her out on Wednesday nights at 9:00 with the Convo with Jackie to be debuting this coming Wednesday on Valentine's Day. But before we get everything going, like I said, your retail life got in the way. We kind of had to put everything on the back burner for a period of time because getting a day off in retail over the holidays is a genuine impossibility to pull off. So we just decided it was probably better that we hold off for a little while. And then I just got a place, so that kind of gave the freedom to do it virtually, and also quiet. But yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in, everybody that's tuning in. And if you are here, pop into the comments, say hello. I know Jackie's here, somebody else watching, but I'm not sure who it is because they haven't popped in the comments yet. So that's your own fault, not mine. So welcome to the show, everybody. We have a couple things we're going to talk about tonight. I want to talk first and foremost because it's coming up in literally a month, Monster Mania at the Crown Plaza. Not Crown Plaza. It was the Crown Plaza. Now it's the DoubleTree Hilton. DoubleTree by Hilton. March 8th through 10th. Tickets are still on sale. But not many left. I think they're like 75% sold out for this show coming up, and they just keep adding more and more guests after a couple cancellations. And Dave, being as awesome as he is, he will usually try to replace a guest that cancels relatively quick to keep everybody happy. So I always give props to Dave for busting his ass for us. But let's kind of go through the guest list real quick. Lars Fredrickson from Rancid's going to be there. Patricia Velasquez, who played Moon in The Mummy and Mummy Returns. She's also in Malignant. Mindhunters, Beowulf, The Curse of La Llorona. Let's see. Stacey Nelkin, Tom Atkins from Halloween 3, The Season of the Witch. Everybody's most favorite and well-revered Halloween movie.
I liked it.
So did I. I mean, a lot of people should. I should on it for a while, and then I rewatched it again recently, and I think because I was able to kind of like remember that it wasn't about Michael, that this was once I heard more about how it's supposed to be an anthology series, and Michael's supposed to be dead after 2. And then, so I was able to appreciate it more on a more recent viewing, and it actually is a surprisingly better movie than I thought it was. Just announced yesterday, William Fichtner. He was in Armageddon, Drive Angry, The Dark Knight, Black Hawk Down. He was a couple voices in GTA and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. He was in the Michael Bay version of the Ninja Turtles.
Wheelchair on the TV show Mom.
What happened?
He's the one. He's the guy who marries Bonnie on Mom, right?
I think so, but for those who saw the remake of The Longest Yard, he was the head guard. He was the one that was in charge of everything.
I heard they shortened that movie a little bit, so it's not really longest anymore.
Like that's the one.
Jeff out of nowhere with the first big zinger. All right.
Well,
we
no,
got
because
we got some energy in house.
It's not the first big thing I have in me, so there you go.
Oh,
well,
okay,
if you yeah, fucking Drake, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a little while. But
I don't drink. I don't drink anything at all. Nope.
But
nope.
Not your dad's root beer. Okay.
I have not had it yet. Is it actually good? Is it a enjoyable beverage? I've not had it yet. When it first came out, I know it was impossible to find, so I never got around to actually getting any bottles of it or trying any of it.
Now it's all over the place. But
of course
it's not bad. I mean, it tastes like root beer. So, but it's not my first choice. Unfortunately, that one I wasn't able to get to the liquor store to get. So,
let's see.
We can drink now doing the show.
I know.
This opens up possibilities.
Lou Taylor Pucci and Jane Levy from the Evil Dead 2013, the remake of Evil Dead. Casper Van Dien from Starship Troopers. Dina Meyer from Starship Troopers. Michael Ironside returning after being at the Oaks show. He was a phenomenal. He was so nice. John Philbin, Courtney Gaines, and John Franklin for a 40th anniversary of the Children of the Corn reunion. Announced recently.
So the middle-aged Gen Xers of the Corn now, they should call it.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, except for John Philbin, he's on the older side. But yes, Courtney Gaines and John Franklin, I think, would be the middle Gen Xers of the Corn. Dick Warlock is going to be there from Halloween 2 and 3 and Pumpkinhead and the Abyss. And then I found out recently, because of the Monster Mania fans page, my buddy Chris posted up, if anybody has any Spaceballs pieces that they're trying to get signatures on, Dick Warlock was also in Spaceballs. He was the Vulcan neck pinch guard. No,
stupid. You have it too high. It's where the shoulder meets the neck. Like this. Yeah.
Which I did not know. I had no clue that was Dick Warlock. Again, he's wearing a mask, much like he does in Halloween, so it's kind of hard to notice what he looks like.
Now, should we reach out to Monster Mania directly to see if we can bring the flamethrower or not? I mean, is that acceptable? I got like 3 of them in the back.
And let's see. John Lovitz is going to be there.
Master Thespian.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
gonna be there. Yeah,
he was such an integral part of like what's considered the Saturday Night Dead, because after between Eddie Murphy and like the Mike Myers era, it was just not great. But his characters he does as funny as the Progressive Liar is. Master Thespian's absolutely hilarious. He did one with John Lithgow that was really freaking fun.
One of my favorite things about SNL, the older episodes, when David Spade was doing the Hollywood Minute on a Weekend Update, and he made that jab at Eddie Murphy.
Shooting star,
the falling star.
The falling star.
That got him in a lot of trouble backstage.
It definitely did.
Well, you had Eddie Murphy call him and yell at him all day, going, "What the are you doing? Are you good?" That's the reason why he never came back to SNL for so many years.
I know. McKenna Grace, who was in Annabelle Comes Home, she was also in Ghostbusters Afterlife and Frozen Empire, the newest Ghostbusters movie, which we'll talk about that a little bit.
She actually started on Young Sheldon too. I found that out after watching that show.
Yes.
So I was surprised. I'm like, wait a minute, she has blonde hair, but I got it now.
And then Lynn Shay, who was she was in all the Insidious movies.
Yeah.
She was in 2001 Maniacs 1 and 2. She was in Kingpin, Dumb and Dumber, Nightmare on Elm Street. She's
all over.
She's all over the place. The one that I'm actually looking forward to the most, well, I shouldn't say the most, because there is one I'm looking forward to more than that. But Katie Seagal's going to be there. She's there Friday and Saturday only. She was, Peggy Bundy in Married Children. She was Taylor Morrow in Sons of Anarchy, and she's the voice of Tarangalila in Futurama, which I think is super awesome. And then Warwick Davis, who was just announced a couple weeks ago. Again, yes, he had to cancel for family reasons, and then I guess they were able to work the schedule around, and he was able to still come, which is super awesome. And then appearing Saturday and Sunday only is 2 guests. One is Sam Raimi. I mean, come on,
Raimi.
No, Sam Raimi.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, I mean, that's Ash vs. the Evil Dead, Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, Dark Man, Drag Me to Hell, the Spider-Man one, all the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. He was. The credits are endless, and he was also directed Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Mm-hmm.
And the one I'm looking forward to the most from Fawlty Towers and Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
A Fish Called Wanda.
A Fish Called Wanda, and anything Monty Python you can possibly think of. John
This
Cleese
parrot is dead. There. Well, of course it's dead. That's why I'm bringing it back.
And he's there Saturday. He's also there Saturday and Sunday only, which is when they had announced John Cleese. It was one of those like moments where you're like, holy shit, this is not one I ever thought that I'd get a chance to meet. And now being part of the con more so than I ever was, more so than I was before as a guest, to be like, there's a possibility I could be working with John Cleese or in close proximity to John Cleese all weekend long. It stresses me the fuck out.
Don't scare him away, okay?
Because it's John Cleese. But if I don't see one Black Knight cosplay the entire weekend, I'm gonna be really mad.
There's so many iconic. First of all, the Basil Fawlty character himself is probably one of the best. I mean, you have standalone Brickhoms. I mean, he goes up there with Blackadder, and those just like.
So there was an interview that I watched with him. It wasn't an interview; it was a Q&A with him and Eric Idle, and they were talking about Fawlty Towers and how the character he played in that was a direct parody of an actual hotel worker at a hotel that they had stayed at previously. And so when they were talking about it, and then apparently some news crew found the guy that they based it off of as like a nursing home in Florida or something like that, and he refused to talk to them. So they convinced his daughter to watch episodes of Fawlty Towers and give her opinion because she never saw it before. And he said after the first episode, she turns to the camera guy and she goes, "That's Dad." It's
that's too funny.
But yes, the tickets are available and still available at monstermania.net. And you can also get information about about Monster coming up in Baltimore, the Baltimore Harbor Hilton, and that's going to be October 4th through 6th. And there's one guest so far has been announced for that one, because if you're doing the very first show at a new convention, new home, you have to bring somebody everybody's going to gravitate to, everybody's going to love, everybody's going to want to go see. Matthew Lillard. And if you are watching this and you are planning on going to Monster Mania in Baltimore to meet Matthew Lillard, I implore you to buy a VIP ticket. If you don't, get there at 4 o'clock in the morning and start waiting in the line, because it's the only way you're going to have the possibility to meet him. I had to deal with so many very angry, very upset people that got there at like 12 o'clock on Sunday. Hey, we're here to see Matthew Lillard. No, you're not. His line's already capped. His line was capped at 10 o'clock in the morning. You're not going to meet him today. Sorry. And they were very upset and very mad at me. I'm like, it's not my fault. You got here late.
Should have held their line. Come on, man.
That's a you problem. But yeah, and so no guests announced for August. But I mean, just those first 3 alone. John Cleese, Warwick Davis, Sam Raimi. It's going to be a goddamn madhouse at that hotel. There's no doubt in my mind it's going to be an absolute madhouse, and I'm looking forward to it for some reason. I'm looking forward to the pain and the stress because I work in retail. So this is the position that I have where I can take out all the frustration of retail work and take it out on people at the convention because I don't have to be nice to them. If they don't know how a line works, I can be like, look, stay in the lines. It's like a theme park. Follow the queue. Stay in the line. Don't be morons. Stay in the line.
We're gonna use the bathroom.
Hold it. Pee in a cup. Well, that was the question I got all the time. At the first, cup? No, at the first show, like people that were in line had like a photo op or whatever it is. They're like, well, what if I have a photo op? I was like, you can lead the line. We're not all assholes. We're not gonna be like,
just you.
Yeah, exactly, just me. I was like, no, we're not all dicks. We're not gonna be like, sorry, you can't do your photo op because you're in line. Get out of line, go to your photo op, come back and find me or the other whatever color shirt we have on that year, and just tell us, hey, I had a photo op, I got out of line, and we'll squeeze you back in line again. We're not going to be like back in the line, ha ha ha. We're not going to do that to you. Trust me. So yeah, definitely if you plan on going, absolutely 100%, no questions asked, get a fucking VIP ticket. Did anybody, kind of switching gears to music for a second, did anybody get around to listening to something I didn't think we were going to ever get, a brand new Billy Joel song?
He's still alive?
Yeah, yes, he's still alive.
Of course he's still alive. He can afford very, very, very good surgeons.
Hey, there's no smoking on the show.
Quit drinking, so.
He did quit drinking, and he's doing one show a month at MSG, which stops, I think, in July. I think the last show's in July. And then he's doing a couple one-off things. He has a show with Sting out in Vegas that he's doing for one night. He's doing a show with Rod Stewart in Ohio for a one-night thing. And Anna wants to go see Billy Joel. And so do I. So I've seen him a couple times. He puts on a fantastic show. But everything's all resale right now. And I'm not going to pay resale prices for MSG tickets. I'll wait till he announces a tour and comes to Philly and go see him at Citizens Bank Park.
He played last year with Stevie Nicks, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that was literally the Friday after the 95 collapse and the day before Biden was in town. So,
I know.
Yeah.
It was a cluster. But the song is incredibly good. You know, for the first song in 30 years, it's called "Turn the Lights Back On," and it's classic Billy Joel. If it came out back in the 90s before he stopped writing music, it would have been one of the songs that was talked about as being one of the best songs that he put out. It's a very, very nice song, beautiful song actually. But I want to talk about something else Billy Joel did many, many years ago at the Grammys back in '94. For those who don't know or weren't alive at that point in time, he was at the Grammys in '94, and Frank Sinatra was getting, I think, a Lifetime Achievement Award or getting some kind of award from the Grammys. And he had, he's Sinatra. He's giving his speech. He's kind of going on a little long. So they just cut him off for a commercial break. Yeah, they cut off Sinatra for a commercial break.
He must have thrown a fucking fit.
So the other artists that were there were not all too pleased about that particular incident. So Billy,
pleased as in him continuing, or him as in?
Oh yeah, no, they weren't happy at that what the Grammys did to him, like cutting him off. But they were just like not happy about it. So Billy, during his performance of River of Dreams at that Grammy Award, decided to pull the ultimate act of petty and do this. God knows I've never been a spiritual man. That's how my way into the river that's running through the promised land.
Valuable advertising time going by. Valuable advertising time going by. Dollars.
Like,
So the
like
audio didn't come through too clearly on my end. So what did he say?
he
Commercial
held
break.
watch. He held watch up and he's going valuable advertising time going by. Valuable, dollars, and is held off for 30 seconds, just wasted the Grammys' time, just to be a spiteful, petty asshole, and I love it. It's the absolute thing.
New York area guy takes care of New York area legend.
Yes,
the goat recognizing the goat father, man. Love it.
And apparently other artists that did the same thing. They either extended their performances, or they took breaks in the middle to do whatever. Like everybody was like, "Fuck you" to the Grammys, and they just went and did whatever they wanted to do. And when he was interviewed at the red carpet at this past Grammys, he was like, "I was here, 30-something years ago, and I made them really mad." And they asked him why, and he told them, "It was like, they cut off Sinatra, so I decided to just waste time and stop my song halfway through and just look at my watch." And they weren't happy with me, so they didn't bring me back for a little while. It's like, why would they though?
Sunday night and in the winter, it's a pain in the ass to get out to Los Angeles and then go back, or just be like, all right, maybe if I'm in town, I'll talk to some people. But
at least he didn't slap somebody.
Yes, exactly. At least he didn't pull a fucking Will Smith and woke up and smacked the shit out of some Grammy executive somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you guys see the Oscars by any chance? So we're on Grammys and stuff. I think I'll bring that up real quick.
Wait, the Oscars aren't.
No, the Oscars aren't happening yet. I think the Oscars are
next month. I think.
No, they just. Or which one is it that
Golden Globes?
Was it that one that we just went?
Yeah,
the one Jimmy Kimmel hosted.
They did the Golden Globes and they did the Emmys because they had to postpone the Emmys for the writer's strike.
Maybe it's the Emmys.
It might be the Emmys. Yeah. No,
I whichever one Jimmy Kimmel did, and he had this long-running joke about the slap and everything. It was actually pretty good.
I think that was the Golden Globes because I think Joe Coy hosted the Emmys.
Yeah.
Because he had a joke about the Barbie movie that nobody laughed at. And it
is the Barbie movie. I wouldn't laugh at that either.
I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it just because I'm a glutton for punishment.
It isn't bad.
I've heard it's actually pretty good.
I have to admit, it was actually surprising. One of those movies where you're like, I'm not going to watch that because it's Barbie, but you watch it's like, you know what? I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's there's a couple of those movies that I'll check out and
especially when you do the double feature of Oppenheimer and Barbie, it's just the perfect combination.
Barbieheimer.
Make sure you do it in that order: Oppenheimer, then Barbie. You're ending on a high note.
But there's movies like that. I can't remember. My friend, our friend Amy had texted me the other day, and she said that she watched I shouldn't say watch it. She started to watch The Interview, the one with Seth Rogen and James Franco about North Korea.
Oh, yeah.
And started to watch it, and she's like, we got 7 minutes into it, and I was like, turn this fucking movie off. It's awful. And she's not and to be fair, she's not a big fan of goofy, stupid comedy movies. She's not a big fan of Will Ferrell. She hates Step Brothers.
Wow.
Why are we friends with her again?
Yeah.
She loves Elf, but that doesn't count. Elf is overrated.
So I was right. You are desperate. Okay, gotcha. Right.
But I was like, I saw it when it first came out because I only watched it because of the backlash it was getting from North Korea, how they banned it from being shown there because and then when you watch it, you realize that, it's a comedy movie, but they are very honest to a point about how it is over there.
Mhm.
like the food in the window is fake, and all
People
this
are
stuff,
fake.
like like how they are really. But I told us, I watched it once, but it wasn't a movie that I would go out of my way to watch a second time.
Mm.
Like it was on, and I just came across it. I might have it on the background, but it wasn't one that I would kind of like go out of my way to watch a second time. Not like like Spaceballs and Blazing Saddles and Silent Movie and Young Frankenstein that I can watch every day if I wanted to, and never get tired of them. That's who we need at a Monster Mania. We need Mel Brooks. We need Mel Brooks to come to a Monster Mania for one day.
How first of all, he doesn't go anywhere. He probably
I know.
He'd probably fight you to go to Palm Springs. He'd be like, I don't need to go to Palm Springs. I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna go to the beach. I'm gonna go to lunch at Spago. You don't go. He doesn't come to your town, to your crappy suburban hotel. You go see him like he's a Dalai fucking Lama. You go like, Mr. Brooks, you are a great student. He goes, yeah. It's like, we really, but you have to tell him that your favorite thing of his is the 2,000-year-old man. Because that was him and Carl Reiner's probably best combination of them doing that sketch. If you go to him, you probably tell him, he'll probably love that more than anything. I was like, yeah, I remember. We were sitting in the room with Sid Caesar, and then he'll probably tell some story that takes 17 and a half minutes to tell. But just no. Could you imagine getting someone John Cleese is a big get, but that must be a pretty high. I'm curious. Do you think he's costing the con more than Calloway did? Taker?
I to be honest, I don't think so, because so not from the con, but I am fully aware of what Taker's price was per hour. Right. And it wasn't cheap. He was only there for 4 hours. And from what I know. Now, unless Dave got some kind of a how they work the contracts out,
some sort of revenue sharing,
for whatever the case may be, but I know that he was like upwards of like $45,000 an hour, for shows. So
and how much revenue did he bring in?
Oh Jesus! Oh God, dude, he was charging. I think it was 80, I think, for on auto, 80 for the pro photo op, or no, for table photo op, 120 for the pro photo op through the con, and then more higher price than for like belts and for this, that, and the other. And there's people in line that had handfuls of shit, belts and figurines and 8x10s and everything. So yeah,
I don't think those people should get to go to cons and do that, honestly. First of all,
so when it comes to Mania, there is a consignment, there is a consignment option, but the consignment option is done through the agent. They have a cap, I think it's 10 items that you can get signed. After that, if you have more than that, you're back into the line again, and you're going back through. But a lot of times, if you go to the agent and go, look, I have these 20 things or whatever it is, can we meet up after the show somewhere? I have this amount of money to pay for it and get it all done there. And 9 times out of 10, the agents will be like, absolutely. Like Taker had a consignment table. People were able to mail stuff in. So even after he was done signing for the con guests, he was in the room for another hour and a half, 2 hours, signing these consignment things that were mailed in.
I don't know about you, Jeff. This is like I get that there is this. I was having the conversation with Heather about how much certain sets of Disney ears and certain backpacks are going on, the second hand market and stuff. I just think that's absolutely ludicrous. That I've been, having worked in sports, having been around these guys. Yeah, I've been to card shows, I've been to trade shows, and yes, I've heard the horror stories of people going up to the wrestlers at 6 a.m. after they worked a 23-minute match on Raw They're just tired and they just want to get in their fucking Comfort Plus seat and go home from freaking Buffalo, and people are bringing them like handfuls.
It happens at Monster Mania. Like there was a couple of years ago, before I started working, with them, and I was in the lobby hanging out. It was myself, I mean, Jeff, Pete Fulmer, Stinky Pete, Sean Gallagher. We're all hanging out in the lobby, and Robert Englund is checking in. And there's these two people. They have like a wheelbarrow full of shit, like gloves and hats and a Freddy mask, the whole nine. And Pete tells him he's not going to sign it for you. Like he'll stop, take a picture with you, and he'll talk to you. But he will not sign anything that you have. Well, how do you know? Because we've been coming here long enough, and we know he's not going to sign shit. He's here to make money. He's not here to sign shit for you for free. He's here to make money.
Exactly.
So the guy walked right up to him with his handful of shit. Robert just walked right the fuck past him, right to the elevator, and up the elevator he went. He got Mr. Ink, and then he walked right the fuck past him.
Yeah, he didn't freak him out like I did. That's the.
How'd you freak out Robert Englund? How do you freak out Robert Englund? He's Freddy goddamn Krueger. How do you freak out Robert Englund?
All right,
you show up as an unexpected IRS agent.
No, I was dressed as Lynn, mask and everything, and he said, "Oh, you're the asshole that." No. It was at the VIB party for Monster Mania. The first night.
I remember this.
Yeah, and I'm in costume, and I don't know if you ever seen what I dress up as at the haunt, Marco, but I'm in this full getup. Everything, silicone mask, gloves, everything. I'm decked out. I stay in character, and Lynn knows, I don't break character unless it's something serious. So I'm in there. Robert Englund's there. There's a whole bunch of people, scrambling around him. It's like, hey, and I'm just making my way around the room, saying hi to Booger from Revenge of the Nerds. He was actually, and I'm in costume. I'm like, hey, nice to meet you. He's like, no. Nice to meet you. And I'm like, you've been on Supernatural. Like, this should be nothing. And they keep it dim in there, so it's not fully bright. So you get a good ambiance in this VIP horror thing. So I'm waiting my turn, standing in line. I'm trying to get close to Robert just to say, hey, nice to meet you, blah, 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 and maybe get an acknowledgement. So I'm standing there, and he does look at me every once in a while and looks past, all around. And I'm standing there just like, in character, just staring, waiting my turn. Almost got it. Yep, almost there.
Almost.
I just have to remember so I can stay calm when I think of this. And then that bitch Tara Reid cockblocked me.
No. Fucking Tara.
She comes right in front of me. Hey, Robert. Hey, Tara. I'm like, Are you fucking with me right now?
It's like, God damn it.
Did I just get cock blocked by Tara Reid?
First of all, did she see you, or is she like?
I think that's the whole reason.
Burrow through the carpet.
She could have went up to anybody, but no, she comes in front of me and stands in front of Robert.
Oblivious to you. You're probably at least half of. I mean, is she short, or is she like average height woman?
Okay, I'm 6'2".
Okay.
So 6'2". She comes up to here on me.
Okay, so she's kind of tiny.
Yeah, I did this when I was looking down at her.
She looks like a baby.
We're not going there. We're not going there. But so Robert leaves very quickly, I might add, after this. And I tried to get to him again, so I'm like trying to move around. No, he just goes right past me.
At no point did you tap her on the shoulder and see if you could scare the shit out of her?
Oh no, she knew I was there because later on I did go back up to her and get a picture with her. So
I would have, man. You had a great opportunity to do a great service for your country.
No, there's a room of witnesses.
Tara Reid dies of fright at a convention.
Have you seen her movies? I think nothing can scare her. Okay.
I mean, of course.
I saw Sharknado.
I liked her in the American Pie movies. She was excellent in The Big Lebowski. I don't know. Heather Heather likes house.
Have you
That's a
seen
bit-
Alone in the Dark or whatever the hell they call it?
And that's about it. Just
Yeah.
Big Lebowski and American
Oh.
Pie movies. And then pretty much was gone.
That's all that I'm willing to
I mean,
acknowledge her for.
she ends her career on Sharknado.
Not only like not even a steady decline. It's like a roller coaster vertical
Plunge.
drop
Do your
decline.
impression of David
No, it's
Cruz's
not the roller
career.
coaster drop. The roller coaster fell down and broke off the track, and everything came fun.
It
was like from Final
wasn't so much a
Destination,
roller
the thing came
coaster as
off the track.
Stuntman's Free Fall.
Yeah.
So
Or what's the one at Six Flags?
which ride? The free fall? Yeah, the free fall. It's not there anymore. That's been gone for a while.
Oh,
But we were talking a little bit ago. We were talking about Mel Brooks, and I wanted to bring this up real quick. He's fine. He's not. Don't worry.
I'm not dead yet.
And I won't play the video because
No, you're not.
Well, hold on.
Grandma.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
he's
nice.
in that scene. How great would that to be? You're not fooling. I do that all the time. Anytime someone's being come back, it's like you just push that. I'm not dead yet.
No.
Sure, Grandma.
You're not fooling
What the
anyone.
green screens?
Just don't dead in the moment. I don't want to go on the cot. Don't be a baby.
I want to see if I can get all three.
God,
Okay, so yeah, here it is.
Okay.
All right, so let me bring this up. This is from it's from a couple years ago, but he's talking about when he got on the Walk of Fame at the Chinese Theater.
There was a lot of people there, and I was thrilled. And today,
Fucking
I was. You do that to help yourself. You know?
Yeah.
shows the comedy gold of Mel
Today I was
Brooks.
honored, literally honored by the Chinese theater asking me to put my hands and feet, my name and date in cement alongside all these great stars.
Legends. This is fantastic.
And so, and I am now part of it. I wanted to do something just, a little different. I didn't know what.
Oh no.
I got another finger.
That's frightening.
So
I'm gonna have to go back there now and look at that because I was there.
If
and I
you
did not
Google,
see it.
if you Google his Walk of Fame plaque on Google, you'll see he has a sixth finger.
I need to look at that again. I did not even notice that. I have pictures of everything. I'm gonna have to look through them again because I was there on my honeymoon. So that was the one thing we did is look at the Walk of Fame, the Chinese Theater, and all that. So I'm gonna have to look at that.
Let me see if I can find the. I'll see if I just pull the picture up just on here. Yeah, I'll see if there we go. We'll do this and then back to here. And then there we go. Yeah, and there's the six fingers. And
how did I miss that?
Wow.
How did I miss that?
Like it's
I'm disappointed in myself.
well, because here's the thing. Yeah, it's gonna be weird, but you weren't looking for a sixth finger.
That is
You know
true.
what I mean? Every other one there had five fingers, and their shoe prints and the name and date. Nobody else had extra fingers, so you weren't looking at expecting to see a sixth finger on Mel Brooks' hand.
True.
But it does show the comedy gold that Mel Brooks brings because he did something so stupid, and it was just getting an extra finger put on his hand to be immortalized forever. For people to walk up to it from
Until
like
they tear it down and put a freaking Chili's there or some other horse shit.
But yeah, I like imagine some like family from like the Midwest or whatever that never saw that interview and they walk up and looking at his star and they're like, "Mama, did you know that Mel Brooks has six fingers on his hand?"
Mel Brooks has six fingers? We've been watching all those movies all those years. He's got 6 fingers.
He was.
Oh dear, I think it's
he was the six-fingered man from Princess Bride.
that now if Christopher Guest does it, he has to do that too now. Or he's got to come up with 7 fingers or 6 fingers on both hands or something.
Oh God, yeah, but so yesterday when Nick and I were doing our show, Two Peas in a Podcast, I was on Twitter and I was trying to like keep up on shit that was going on. It was Friday night, so it was SmackDown. So a lot of the trending topics were wrestling related, with The Rock or just Raw, so SmackDown in general. But trending was Danny DeVito, and I got instantly fucking terrified because I was like, anything trending on Twitter is either good or awful, and I wasn't sure what area it was going to be in regards to the good or bad. It was just stories about how awesome Danny DeVito is. And I'm like, okay, good. We can't lose Danny DeVito. I refuse. Wrap that bastard in as Nick said, wrap him in bubble paper and egg cartons.
You said that about Betty White, so you be quiet.
I know. I fucking poor Betty White. So I wanted to bring this up real quick as we're going to veer off into the music news portion for just a second. Yes, Nick, Twitter is a cesspool, but I visit it daily, so do I.
I'm on it like most of my day.
We brought this up last night. I'll bring it up tonight as well. This is the post from Sharon Osbourne, and Ozzy posted about it the other day also. Kanye West asked permission to sample part of live performance of War Pigs and was denied. However, true to his form, he used it anyway. The Osbourne family have never wanted any association with Kanye West. He's an anti-Semitic fool who spews his rhetoric out into the world. Kanye, you fucked with the wrong dude this time. Sincerely, Sharon Osbourne.
Kanye, we're going to get you! We'll make you pay for this!
I mean, what more can you say? It's Kanye. We said it last night. He's going to do what he wants to do. But it kind of like, I mean, how bad is it when Weird Al has more respect for musicians than Kanye West does? Because when an artist tells him no, he's like, okay, and moves on to the next person he wants to parody. Except for Coolio, that wasn't his fault. That was his management's fault.
Yeah, his agent said no, and he's like, wait, what? What are you out of your mind?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I think it was one of those things where Al's management said, "No, yeah, we have permission to use it," and then he did it, and then he found out after the fact that he did not have permission to use it. But I know he wanted to parody he wanted to parody Die and call it Chicken Pot Pie, but because Paul McCartney is a vegetarian, he refused to let him do a parody of his song. That involved
what song?
Live and Let Die, but he wanted to call it Chicken Pot Pie.
Well, it actually had to do because of the message behind the song. He didn't want to get it all mixed up and people to think something else.
Yes. Paul McCartney, always the bastion of straightforward, direct messaging in music.
Oh yes. But we don't get the song messed up. Well, that's why. I mean, Jeff, I'm sure you probably know, but I'm not sure if you know, Marco. But Spaceballs, kind of reading about the Mel Brooks for a second, but also on the token of the parody, they got permission from George Lucas to use Lucasfilm's studios to make Spaceballs. But the contractual caveat was they could not make any action figures. They couldn't make any merchandise for the movie because George Lucas didn't want the off chance of somebody mistaking a Luke Skywalker action figure not Luke Skywalker, a Han Solo action figure for a Lone Star action figure, or if it was to confuse
'Cause-
Chewbacca with Barf because they're so similar.
Oh yeah, they're so much alike.
That part probably was like, mandated by the lawyers and stuff, because I can't imagine George being that much of a stick in the mud.
And that's why they do the merchandising scene in the movie, because that way they could have merchandise for the movie. But if you look at it carefully, when they show Spaceballs the coloring book, it's a Transformers coloring book.
Well, same thing with the lunchbox. It's Transformers the movie lunchbox. I know, yes. I had it.
And one of my favorite things, and it came across my memories on Facebook the other day. I can't remember if you tagged me in it, Marco, or somebody else tagged me in it. But it was Spaceballs the Mud Flaps, and it was
I think that's mine. I think I saw that on on just doom scrolling Facebook one day. I'm just like, no, Leonard's.
Yep. Anything like that. There's like, for the longest time, I had Spaceballs the cover photo from my cover photo on Facebook.
Spaceballs the toilet paper.
There's one that I still have on my phone to this day that I use every so often, and it's the scene of like Dark Helmet and Scroob and Colonel Sanders all together, and then it's just a Spaceballs the reaction meme. and that like every so often will reemerge in a comment thread somewhere. Jeff, I talked about you last night on the show. We were talking about I played a clip of something. I think it was a home improvement ad followed by like a Diet Mug Rupert Dana Carvey show ad. Okay. There's like somber episode of Home Improvement where like JTT's character he thinks he's gonna die, and it's like this like somber episode, and it's like, tune in tonight for a very for a heart-tugging episode of Home Improvement, followed by the Diet Mug Rupert Dana Carvey show, and it's from a documentary called Too Funny to Fail. It was on Hulu. But going from there, I had talked with Nick about that goddamn video I showed you months ago of that Make-A-Wish kid running with the fucking football and getting just fucking plowed.
What?
Like, and I was like, there's very few things that happen that I can get Jeff to literally wheeze with laughter. It was the one time I was able to like get him with something so inane and stupid as that goddamn video was.
Because you know it's coming, but yet you just.
And as I'm describing it to Nick, I was like, is this kid running down a football field, the whole nine? And Nick's just like, I know where it's going. I can see where it's going. Yeah. I'm like, yep, and this fucking dude just fucking plows into him, man. And
his heart replaced with a potato, so.
Yeah, I was like, God, it was so fucking funny. It's
proudness of the dude. He's like, yeah, I got him. And he's like, what?
Marco, you are the sports nut here. You are the football.
You should play that clip, actually.
Should I play that clip? I'll play that clip.
You need to play that clip because
why the hell not?
Start this off on a high note.
While I'm getting the clip ready, I think this is it. Hold on, I'll make sure it's the right one. Yeah, this is the right. And this one has commentary to it. Well, I'm getting it set up, Marco. You're the football sports person. My friend Rebecca, who works for Bet365, she had posted on Facebook that Bet365 they now have a couple new bets that you can bet on for the big game tomorrow. And the two that she mentioned, one of them was how many times will they show Taylor Swift during the game?
A lot.
The other one was, will Travis Kelce propose to her on the field when the game is over? And my answer to that one is absolutely not, because once the football season's over and he has to be around for more than 8 seconds, he's going to realize how fucking annoying she is and break up with her, and then we'll get a brand new album.
I don't know about that. So there was a video of.
I'm talking in jest. I'm really
I
joking.
know. It would be.
They are, as much as a non-football fan as I am, they come off as being a very happy couple, and I don't wish any ill will towards them. I'm just enjoying what I think she has to do now. Super Bowl Sunday, she has to walk on the field, take a knee, gargle Bud Light while wearing a Biden T-shirt and a Trump hat, and make everybody lose their fucking minds.
So that would be funny.
She actually wore a Trump shirt that says "Never Again." She already beat you to it.
Did you? Well, yeah, but just to piss everybody off, have her gargle Bud Light and kneel down and wear a pride flag and just get everybody angry, because at this point, make her the supreme supervillain of the NFL. Is that way?
I don't know if she'll ever be able to beat Roger.
I'm about to say she won't be able to beat Roger Goodell, but hey. Oh, okay, there it is. So yeah, here's, as Jeff wants to see the video again. He's a glutton for punishment, apparently. So let's get let's get this video back up. And if you're still in here, Nick, this is the video that I was talking about last night. This time has commentary on it, which is even better.
Oh, I love this video.
Tommy run the first play of the game. And he got the handoff, and there he goes. Made a little cutback move, and it looks like he's going to go all the way.
Because it's coming. It's the worst part.
Wow. This is really one of those heartwarming moments in sports.
He picks up speed.
Damn!
Oh, shit! I mean, if you want to be a football player, then yeah, you got to get popped. That can't be real. First of all, that can't be real.
Obviously, it's not real.
It is not. It's not real. But goddamn, is it funny? Like, it's just.
Oh,
great.
Oh no! I lied. I'm sorry. I'm a big fat liar. We were not talking about what I said. I played Nick the video of Steve Keeley from Fox 29 from a couple years ago, getting fucking hit by the snow from the snowplow, and just staying standing and just taking like a fucking champ.
Steve Keeley. Okay, I've worked since
Nick said unflappable. He was unflappable in that video.
Steve Keeley showed up in, I shit you not, he had a suit jacket and tie on the day of the inauguration of the new mayor, and his pants were like tights, like actual like what your daughters would wear, like leggings, and I'm like. I'm standing in the hallway, like looking at it, trying to reconcile this in my mind. I'm like, what the fuck? He was at the month in December. We did the SEPTA police strike. He was there. He had like a jacket on, and he had these like really high boots on. He it looks like he wears lifts. He looks like he may be a short guy like me. I'm about 5'5", so for me, it's like, yeah, I'm probably not. I'm not definitely. Not getting as much attention as other guys. We have a lot of really tall broadcasters.
So let's see.
Walter Perez has to be at least Jeff's height of 6'2", possibly even taller. I've seen him in a couple things, but no, Steve Keeley does a lot of stuff at Fox. Here's
one that and Jeff, you might be able to point out if this is fake or not. This is another one of those videos that went viral. And when you see it, you might know exactly what video it is. But again, much like the Steve Keeley video and the kid being tackled, this makes me laugh every time I see it. So let's pull it up here.
Make unnecessary
so apparently this is doing a hurricane somewhere.
And don't swim in the sea. Incredibly, people have been spotted in the water here in Blackrock and Salt Hill, both today and yesterday.
This is either, I think it's Ireland. Jesus, she got nailed. So that's a freaking, that's a
I'm not sure.
And
I'm not
RTE,
sure if that was
it's like something in the UK, and it might have been Northern Ireland. So talking about her.
Let's find out.
That's fucking wild, though. So
here's
the thing.
Google machine.
I would never want to do weather stand-ups. I could do I cover government, so I would never in a trillion and a half years want to go out and do. I don't want to go to war zones, much less go stand in the middle of a fucking hurricane. There's absolutely nothing about that that's newsworthy or anything of that to put my body and my own self-preservation at risk.
Yeah,
people do that at really low pace.
Here we go.
Low,
Jeff
low
has the answer.
Paces.
Please tell me it was real. If it's not real, I'm just going to be very upset. Not real.
Not real. Confirmed by Snoops. These have been going on for a while. It is all fake.
Damn,
that's crazy.
That's a bummer.
That's a shame. Yeah.
But because of that, it actually made her a viral sensation. Because she is a real reporter.
Yeah, RTE is a real channel. It's one of those channels in Europe that I think gets picked up a lot of places. But yeah, you would probably not be able to survive that. If you get broadsided by something that large and metal, that flat, that probably does brain damage.
Yeah. But then again, the way she was speaking,
it'll definitely damage your brain.
How's your head doing after that bump you took last week, Len?
What happened? Oh, yeah.
The knock.
God.
Yeah. I'm
doing all right. That was fucking scary, and it was one of those things where I told Charles a bunch of times during the day, thank you. You literally saved my leg. I appreciate you.
The apartment's nice, but that one little area is just too small to navigate stuff.
It is, and that's why we have no fucking couch right now. So the
buy one that comes in a case at IKEA.
And that story kind of pissed me off. What happened? So I ordered the couch through Aaron's, which is it's a good company. I'm not saying they're not a good company. This pissed me off. Supposed to be delivered. What day is today? Saturday? On Thursday. And it never showed up. I mean, I never got any phone calls from the company to let me know, hey, it was a delay. They can't be out there today. Can we reschedule for tomorrow? Blah, 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 blah. So I called them yesterday. And I was like, hey, what the fuck happened yesterday? And they're like, we're really sorry. We'll get to you first thing in the morning. I was like, that's fantastic. But nobody's home right now. We won't be home until after 4 o'clock. So they're doing it. They're okay, we'll be there at 4:30. So 5 o'clock rolls around, not here. 6 o'clock rolls around, not here. 7:30 rolls around, not fucking here yet. So they finally show up. So the backstory of this damn section that we got on Aaron's website, a couple of the ones I looked at had a warning, and the warning said door frame must be 30 inches. For 30 inches or more to fit, measure and make sure the doorway is that big. And the one that we got didn't have that warning because it would have fit through our doorway. The issue is that little fucking slant at the bottom of the steps before you get up past that was the problem. They couldn't fit up the fucking stairs last night. So I just want to cancel it, and we're going somewhere else tomorrow to see to look at a couple other couches tomorrow to hopefully have something here by tomorrow night. For the big foosball game happening tomorrow. The big sports ball, the Superb Owl.
Somebody posted that on Facebook, and I just started laughing. That I'm so sad that show's ending. That is absolutely absurdly fun.
And so Nick said I have a funny.
Boy has something.
I have a funny video submission from when I was living in Indiana. What are you doing? Okay. Yes. send it to here, uh, link or whatever it is, and then or someone type into YouTube. I'll look it up. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the Super Bowl. Yeah, I'm a bit late to the what we do in the Shadows party. But I am very happy. I jumped on now as the show's wrapping up, because I can kind of blow through all the seasons at one time, and not have to wait for the seasons to renew and wait months at a time for the newest seasons. But goddamn, that show is funny. Every bit of that show is funny, even when they're trying not to be funny.
They're funny.
It's what's the I won't dare speak the name of the vampire who caused that. I don't give a fuck. His name was Mike. Like, or Laszlo walking through the mall, being stopped by the girl with the fucking with the perfume. Said, no, fuck off. Can't be sidetracked with cheap sex potions. Like, it's just all the lines.
When he walks into the restaurant with Nadja and asks them, do you people have names, or do you communicate with sticks? We started dying. That was so. And anytime we get pissed off with someone, we refer to them as Professor Pig Dick. Just call him Professor Pig Dick. We've gotten into Schitt's Creek now, and at least twice a show we have to stop because it's so fucking silly.
One of my one of the scene. So I started watching after I saw a handful of videos on TikTok, because I'll say, I'm going to watch this thing and then I get sidetracked and I start watching something else and I forget that I was supposed to start watching a new show. So I kind of forgot about what we do in the Shadows, and then I came across a compilation video of Jess Laszlo.
That'll do it.
And it was it. And the first clip in it was a good evening. Go back to your own country. What the fuck did you just say? Like, that was it. I was like, okay, this is the kind of show I'm going to have to watch. And then I came across the other show that he was in, where he was a voiceover artist. I can't remember the fucking name of that show off the top of my head.
Krapopolis?
It might have been, yeah, with fucking Clem Fandango. Yeah, but yeah. So Nick sent me that thing, but I can't click the link through the. Send me the link through Messenger. I can't click it in the comments. All it's going to do is show the comment on the.
You've probably got to
put it here
in the. You probably have to copy it, put it in another browser window, and then try to shoot it up from there.
Yeah. So yeah, I can't copy it though. So yeah, Nick, just send it to me through Messenger. There it is. Okay, awesome. So let me go over to here.
So let me ask you something. Have you seen the movie What We Do in the Shadows, though?
I haven't yet, but I was told that I asked somebody if I had to watch it for the show, and they said not really, because it's based off it, but it's not really. It doesn't really nothing from aside from a couple of the characters being in the movie version, but I've not sat and watched the actual movie yet. No.
I'm gonna tell you this. I when I started to watch that movie originally, I came across it. I'm like, it doesn't look good. Like, it seemed found footage, or it seemed stupid in the first 5 minutes, and I couldn't get through it. But then another friend of mine, and we all know him, Lynn, said, "Oh man, that's the best movie. It's so funny," and just kept talking about it. I'm like, really? I'm like, okay, fine. I'll give it another shot. See if I can get past 15 minutes. Well, yeah, after the movie was over, I'm like, this is so freaking funny. And I'm like, and then when they said they were doing a TV series, I said, as long as it lives up to the movie, boy, did it. So definitely watch the movie, because it definitely puts it into a very interesting perspective.
I definitely will, yes.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find this. We'll do the. So Nick sent me this. So apparently, what he said, this was a newsman got mad that nobody turned up for Black Friday at the mall that he went to regularly when he was living in Indiana. So this is going to be fucking interesting. So let's pull this up to here, and then play.
Almost afraid to
in
ask.
just under an hour from now. Josh, how are things going?
Well, you know what, Alex? I thought I was going to be inside, and apparently I'm stuck outside because security reasons and all that other rigmarole. Look, let's just look behind me. You see the long lines of people out here at 5:45 or so. Look, we were expecting a big crowd. We don't have the big crowd that we expected. I got up at 3 o'clock excited to do my first ever Black Friday, and ain't nobody here. I am literally upset right now. I don't know why people did not wake up. They had too much food. I don't know what the deal is. You got cars coming through, but they're stuck right now in their cars. Nobody's coming out. Yeah, they open their doors at 6 o'clock, but I'm really upset right now. We don't have anybody out here. We got another news crew that I'm not going to name. She's out here. So at the moment, I'm going to send it back to y'all because ain't nobody here. I'm going back home. I'm going back to my bed, and I'm going to sleep. Alex, we send it back to you in South Bend.
I love it. So so they're in South Bend. They're not even running out of Indianapolis. That is a small market. South Bend is, of course, the home of Notre Dame University, or University of Notre Dame. I don't know how the fuck I say it, but yeah, he's in a small market outside Chicago, between Chicago and Indianapolis. It's probably below freezing at that point. It's early as shit. Like, when you have to go to things, you're there 2-3 hours before the setup. If it's the president, it's like 3-4 hours. I think Biden spoke at, I want to say like 2-3 o'clock the day after the Phillies eliminated the Braves in the playoffs. And we were there at 11 a.m. We're sitting there with porta potties, no food, waiting, trying to like borrow people's phone chargers and stuff. Yeah. And this is so he's talking about Black Friday 2017. People were still out doing things then. Like the places didn't realize, oh, this is barbaric. Let's try to not be here. You know, let's try to let people enjoy Thanksgiving and have people show up on like, you know, actual Friday. But that is just there's sometimes when these shoots just go horribly awry, especially in smaller markets with less experienced people who are making very, very little money with their fancy degrees. Sometimes people like me who get 2 of them because they have to just to get a crack at something in the market. I would never want to go work in like Paducah or, you know, Huntsville or some smaller market, Amarillo, just to work your way up the ladder from that. People do that 22, 23 out of school, you know, and they're like, all right, you know, we're going to work our way up and eventually maybe someday I'll get to do the traffic in Cleveland. But it's just, and that's the grind of it. You know, and that's the grind of news. Like we were having conversations about, people just don't read things anymore. People still kind of watch the network news, but all this stuff about taking things off linear and putting it on all these streaming channels and all this money being spent and stuff. It's like, well, you're going to take away all the other things people need, like the local news, to tell you, hey, there's a fucking tornado coming to your house. I feel really bad for when they have the freaking heavy storms coming through and they got to cut into, you know, either they extend the local news, or they did it. I think in 2020 over a big storm. There was like a Phillies doubleheader, and you missed a walk-off grand slam in extra innings.
With that example, all I can think of is Weird Al. The song "Why Does This Always Happen to Me?"
Good song.
It has the lyric of, you know, about the watching the TV and the news cut in about a devastating earthquake, and there was 30,000 crushed to death and more were buried alive as a 6.2. And is God, please answer me one question: why they interrupt the Simpsons just for this? You know, I was taping it and everything, and I was like, this is the epitome of that story. People get so angry.
I'll tell you one better.
Uh-oh.
There was an Amber Alert at the end of one of the American Idols
Was
like,
there
I want to
really?
say maybe 5 or 6. I was still working at Comcast, and they break into the new. We're watching it in the call center.
How
So
dare you tell us about a missing child?
must have been
we want to know who
08
won
because
American
I think they're
Idol.
still on the front side, and they break in, and our phones just start blowing up. You're like, what do you mean? There's a fucking emergency.
Yeah.
Now, because now everyone watches stuff on their phones. By the way, how far off course are we now, and what do we have to do to get back onto whatever rudimentary schedule you put together for the show?
Wait. There's a schedule for this show?
I don't know. I assume Lynn came up with some semblance of a plan.
Not really, no.
That's always good.
It was. This is the first show back. I really didn't have a plan, but I think it's what I'm talking about, and that was it's. I was watching earlier today, Jeff. I'm not sure if you have watched it yet. And Marco, even though you're not a big horror fan, I think you will enjoy this. But I'm going to put that in the back burner real quick because we were talking about Black Friday with that video. Marco, I know you will not watch this movie for the slightest bit, but Jeff, have you seen Thanksgiving yet?
Yes, I have.
What did you think of it?
Well,
Was it worth the 15-year wait, or the how long it was? Marco, for backstory, this movie originally was just a stupid, made-up movie trailer during what, Grindhouse? Was it Grindhouse movie that Eli Roth did?
Tarantino's and Robert Rodriguez's Grindhouse.
Yeah, Grindhouse. Yeah. So Thanksgiving was basically a trailer that they put in this movie for a non-existent movie that would never happen. It was just a made-up thing just to fill space in this movie, and people apparently have been up Eli Roth's ass to actually make this movie happen, and he actually fucking did it. Mm-hmm. And pretty high budget, friggin' what the fuck's his name? McDreamy. Fucking
I know who you're talking about. Hold on.
Patrick Dempsey.
Yes, Nick, and also I think Machete too. Wasn't Machete like just a Grindhouse thing?
Oh, that actually came out of it for Robert Rodriguez because he liked it so much. It's like, you know what? I'm going to make this into a movie. But the thing about this, and since we're on this topic real quick, Machete came out. It wasn't directed by Robert Rodriguez. He did a few things in it. Most of the stuff from the trailer was integrated into the movie. There's somebody else that directed it. But it was a very exploitative
Ron
movie.
Jeremy.
No. No, it was not Ron Jeremy. It was you screwed up my train of thought. It was very exploitative, like very down to earth, very contained movie type of thing. And the sequels, when he decided to take over full directing and writing, they sucked. Because the second one wasn't that great.
Yeah.
This one, was it worth the wait? Yes.
I love it.
No, because here's the thing. You look at the original trailer from that movie. It is so exploitative. There's so much in there that like graphic nudity, graphic violence, like over the top violence, a lot of innuendos and stuff that would be thrown in, right? I mean, let's face it, the cheerleader scene. We all know what happens in the trailer originally.
Yep.
It does not happen in the movie.
It does not,
I'm telling you. In fact, because it came up before 2020 and wokeness, you can see where this is going. Now it comes out, so they change stuff around. And a lot of stuff that they could get away with back then, apparently they can't get away with now.
Back then isn't 3 years ago.
It's kind of harder to pull up. But I mean, this had, for lack of better terms, this had Terrifier level kills. Not to the same extreme nature, but over the top, outside the box. Like the guy didn't use weapons, so to speak.
No.
Yeah, he used things around him.
I was disappointed with the turkey spread at the end.
Yeah. That was, I think, the only thing that. So I was watching it with Alyssa. Okay. So I'm watching it with Alyssa, and we watched the whole movie. The whole movie.
Well, I hope so.
We get to the part where he's prepping the turkey.
About to carve it, type of thing. Yeah.
No, prepping it to cook it.
Oh yeah.
And she gets freaked out because he's touching the feet, and it grosses her out. And I turned to her and I went, "Of all the shit that you saw in this movie, of all the kills that you saw in this movie, touching the feet is the one that crosses the line for you." And she says, "Yeah, it's fucking gross." And
That's interesting.
There's and being that I know, Marco, you're not a big horror person, and
No.
Nick, I'm not sure if you are or not, but definitely check it out. There are some very interesting kills in this movie, even to the point where there's some where even I was like, "Holy shit, that just happened." To not give too much away, the dumpster I think was fun.
I was about to say that the dumpster was like surprising to me, and I was like, I love that. That is so original. Did not even see it coming.
How can I mention this one without giving anything away about it? The corn, I think was a fun one too.
The corn holders. That's as far as we go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. The holders was a fun one.
But it wasn't really a kill. It was more like a maim.
Yeah. That was to prepare for the kill, because
Exactly.
the kill came afterwards.
Yes, it did.
So I don't like horror movies. I don't like gory stuff like that. But, and this is something I've noticed.
This is not your movie.
And this is the weird part. This is something I noticed from watching WWE. They've come up with innovative, novel ways to tell violent stories. First, the having the women's. I thought the women's War Games match this year was far better than the men's one, just because it was just a better story, and it was just those spots were like. That was like 90s ECW. You're like, Jesus, where the fuck's New Jack when you need him? And then the Brutus Brothers against the guys who were back in the Phantasmo group now. They had a brutally violent match on NXT back in, like, I want to say October. And it was just innovative, just like different. You're like looking at this. You don't need someone to blade with in the first two minutes of the match. Looking at you, Tony Khan. You don't need, I mean, Swerve and Hangman, are doing some really, really brutal stuff. But the matches came off as actually more wince-inducing than just watching, things where guys will get cut going through, more old school wrestling stuff that is recognized in other old territories and other promotions outside of WWE. But the way WWE's been doing that stuff, and this is something I'm looking forward to in WrestleMania. Last meeting we went to, we got that huge spot between Shane and Miz where he jumped off. What the hell did he jump off of? He jumped off something high. He does that shit.
I can't remember. All I know is that we'll get more in depth. Put a pin in that real quick. We'll get more in depth next. I want to talk for a little bit about the press conference on Thursday. But so Jeff, I'll ask you this real quick. What did you think of Terrifier 2?
To be honest, I haven't seen it yet. Of all movies, I have not seen that one yet.
Okay. I enjoyed it. Alyssa enjoyed it. Both of my girls didn't like it as much, not because of art or because of the story or because of the kills, because there are, holy shit, they upped the level in
Yeah.
Terrifier 2.
And I think we talked about this before, so I think I know where you're going with it, but keep going.
There's one, and I won't mention what it is, but there's one that I found out at Monster Mania this past one in Oaks, because they had David there, they had Damien there, and they had Mike Gianelli, the original Art the Clown from All Hallows Eve there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And he was super cool. He was so nice. But we were talking to David about the one kill, and he was like, "Yeah, we did it." And then I went to Damien, and I was like, "Hey, so what if I come back in with this and this, and to keep going?" And Damien was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And then they let him do it. But there was the scene that they wouldn't let him do, which was the fucking dick balloon. That was the one that was too far for Damien. You know, sawing a girl in half crotch first in the first movie, that wasn't too far, but making a balloon animal out of somebody's dick, that crossed the line for Damien. Like,
I mean, if you actually do that, that's probably going to get you that's a guaranteed NC-17. He got a note from the producers and said, "We're not going to make any money on this movie if you try that shit, son."
Well, there was stuff that was in this movie that should have definitely pushed that could have pushed NC-17, but because it wasn't put out it was put in theaters for a limited run, and it made some money, and people were like passing out. Yeah, it made enough money
Times, man,
to make a second movie.
It made a pretty good amount of money.
It made more than a blockbuster. That would.
Oh, I forgot. People, yeah,
it made over, I think, $1 billion. You know what? Let me look that up because I remember.
That's a lot. It probably broke nine figures though.
So I'm gonna play a scene from it real quick. It's not a kill scene, but Jeff, I know that you've probably seen the memes and seen the pictures and seen the cosplays with this, so it's not really giving anything away.
Yeah.
But
so
I want.
It was made for $250,000. Came in at $15.7 million. So
that is a very well return on investment.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
but the thing about it is that, and everyone was surprised by this, for a horror movie, came in at #1 at the box office because, and it was going up against, what was it going up against? It went up against shit. I have to do more research, so play the clip.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll play the clip. So again, everybody who's watching, and Marco, this is Art the Clown, terrifying killer clown, the whole nine. But they put shit in this movie just to make you giggle. And this, when I saw it, so in the first movie, it was the tricycle scene. The tricycle scene, when it happened in the movie, I was just giggling like an idiot because it was just so, after all the brutal things that happened in the course of this movie, to see him like on this tricycle, just riding around this warehouse floor, just having the time of his life, it made me giggle. So this is what they put in the newest movie that just made me so fucking funny. And this was shot actually at Jeff, you probably know more than I will about it. It's the big Halloween store in New York. I can't remember what the hell it's called off the top of my head.
I know which one you're talking about.
Like one of those well-known Halloween stores up that way.
Yeah.
But since I know that you've seen the meme so far, this is the scene.
This is definitely channeling his inner Jack Nicholson Joker.
What?
But my thing is the cashier is just standing there going, "Just pay me, lady."
It's the fucking googly eye glasses that fucking get me every time. And then
it'd be funny if you held Bernard the clown.
Sir, you're gonna put that in your mouth. You gotta pay for it.
it's just
That's great. That's really well acted, really well scripted.
It's the sadness of the thing just going back down again. Just like but yeah, so when he did a Q&A at Monster Mania of 2 years ago, and he was talking about Art the Clown and whatnot, and he did channel a lot of because he doesn't talk. It's all mannerisms and it's all in the eyes and the expression. So it was a lot of like Charlie Chaplin and those silent movie people, but come to find out that he was the understudy, ironically enough, for the Grinch when it was on Broadway on the West End. He was the understudy, and the person that taught him how to be creepy and how to act a certain way to make people feel uneasy was the same guy that played Robbie Rotten in Lazy Town. So when you think about it, it's like that makes sense. That's the guy that taught him how to be an over-the-top, creepy human being. It's the fact that it was Robbie Rotten that taught him how to do it. So Jeff, who'd they go up with?
That's what I'm still trying to find out. It's a little hard to find the other movies that came out around the same time.
All right, so while we're doing that, I'm going to bring up one of the stories I had up for the Twisted Tales, and I can tell you that this would just bother me so much. If I went to a crane machine and want a child, it would bother me. Australian police came to the aid of a 3-year-old boy after he became trapped inside a claw machine at a suburban shopping mall. Video of the unusual rescue Saturday was shared on.
What'd you say? Claw machine say.
It was shared by Queensland police on Thursday. It showed a toddler sitting inside the glass-walled box filled with plush toys, blissfully unaware of his predicament. The boy's father, Timothy Hopper, said that his son disappeared in the claw machine's prize dispenser and inside in a split second. I had zero chance to react. It was unbelievable how fast he climbed up there. The video then shows the officers and the boy's parents encouraging him into a safe corner in the back of the machine to cover his eyes while the police shattered a glass panel to free him unharmed. My question is, it's a claw machine. Can't they open the top up when they put more stuff in? Why did they shatter the fucking glass? Like, couldn't they just open the top up?
Maybe not a big enough. I don't.
Well, the claw machine, it's the one that comes down like this, right?
Ooh,
yeah.
So they can't open the top, but there should be a thing you unlock and open the front door.
Yeah. But no, they shattered it. No, they broke the machine to rescue this dumb kid. Like, it's, man, I can tell you, the amount of times I've gone to a claw machine and want a child, that's how I have two now. I keep winning the claw machines.
I don't think that's how it works, Lynn, but you keep pump those quarters in, buddy.
That's a better story. Yeah,
this is a very strange one. Let me open the actual story up. No, I'll fucking accept whatever.
The viruses.
A nuclear reactor exploded at the Chernobyl power plant in Ukraine in 1986. More than 100,000 people evacuated from the city as the blast released cancer-causing radiation. The area has remained eerily abandoned ever since, with the Chernobyl exclusion zone put in place to prevent people from entering a 1,000-square-mile area where the radiation still poses a cancer risk. Humans may not have returned, but wildlife such as wolves and horses roam the wastelands of the evacuated city more than 35 years after the disaster. Carla Love, an evolutionary biologist and ecotoxologist at Princeton University in the U.S., has been studying how the Chernobyl wolves survived despite generations of exposure to radioactive particles. Ms. Love and a team of researchers visited the CEZ in 2014 and put radio collars on the wolves so that their movements could be monitored. she said the college give them real-time measurements of where the wolves are and how much radiation they're exposed to. They also took blood samples to understand how the wolves' bodies respond to the cancer-causing radiation. They discovered that Chernobyl wolves are exposed upwards of 11.28 millirem of radiation every day for their entire lives, which is more than 6 times the legal safety limit for a human. Ms. Love found the wolves have altered immune systems similar to cancer patients undergoing radiation treatment, but more significantly, she also identified specific parts of the animal's genetic information that seemed resilient to the increased cancer risk. So these wolves around Chernobyl are just immune to the radiation. That is terrifying.
Yeah, that's certainly unnerving.
At this point, they're immortal.
Well, they're kind of like cockroaches who are, who are more resilient to nuclear fallout. But I mean, I'm pretty sure that if you hit one, that if you shoot them with a gun or an arrow, I'll probably take them down.
I'll probably take them down. Yeah. So before we get into the press conference thing, I have one more question for you, Jeff. Horror related stuff. And again, even for Marco, I think you'll enjoy watching this. It's an insightful look at one of the most iconic horror people in recent history. But have you gotten a chance to watch To Hell and Back, the Kane Hodder story?
Somewhat started to, but I didn't get a chance to.
Yeah, so Marco, if you have Tubi TV or something like that, you can. It's for free on Tubi TV.
Okay.
It kind of goes into like, the life and the upbringing and everything that he went through the course of his career. But the one thing that struck me as being incredible is, I've met him a handful of times, and he is pretty badly burned on his arms and his neck and his chest, and I never really knew like why or how.
A stunt went wrong.
What happened? Well, so it technically it was, yeah, and he was showing off for some news anchor when he first got into stunt work, and he offered to do a fire stunt for the paper, and he had no rubber cement, so they brought him some from their truck, which was a different brand or different whatever it was. And usually they had said that, like, when you put a match to it, it'll light, but whatever version they had, whatever type it was, when he put the match, even lit it, he went up in flames. Like, and he was like, I know that you hear about stop, drop, and roll, and he's like, it's a smart thing to do. He said, when you're engulfed in flames and you can hear your hair burning and you can feel your face burning, you run. He's like, you're not supposed to. He's like, but you run. He's like, any stuntman who's been involved in this, they'll tell you the same thing. It's instinctual that you run because it's you're on fucking fire and you're going to run. But he was in a hospital, wherever it was, for 4 months. They did multiple skin grafts on him, and they didn't work. They weren't setting, and he developed a staph infection. So they told his parents that, look, he has a staph infection, and we don't think he's going to make it out of the hospital. So we're going to transfer him to a burn unit in San Francisco. And his dad was like, well, what is it? Like, well, it's a place that specializes in, the care for burn victims. And he's like, my dad wanted to punch the fucking guy in the face. Like, why didn't you send him there 4 months ago? Why has he been in this hospital being not treated correctly? So he was in that hospital for 6 weeks, and they cured his staph infection. They got skin grafts to work, and he came out perfectly fine. And went on, and then 6 months after the fact, he's doing another burn stunt for a movie. And he was like, and I find out when you do it right, there's no cause for the possible danger of it because you're doing it the right way.
Work safe, kids. Works. That's. Did you see the John Cena clip of him talking to an interviewer who was making a professional wrestling debut?
I did. Yes. Have you seen the
John
commercial?
Safe work.
Have you seen the commercial for who the fuck's it for? Is it a Super Bowl commercial with the
FanDuel
Gronk
one?
Yeah, with Gronk doing the kick of destiny or whatever it is. And it's like, should we get rid of the new guy? And it's fucking Cena.
Yeah. What
Still
about
get to do it, right?
That would have been interesting. That'd be interesting because Cena, I think, was like a D3 standout because he was kind of undersized. So you're probably looking at him. He was probably either a rush end or a linebacker in college. So, him trying to take on Gronkowski would be a pretty at this point now. I think he and Gronk, if they actually got in the ring, you could have a pretty physical match because they're both former football players. Gronkowski obviously a substantially higher level of expertise, but John Cena being, of course, John fucking Cena. So.
Correct. But give me 1 second. Alyssa's texting me. She's on her way home from picking up her daughter.
Yeah, real quick while you're doing that, I did find out how Terrifier 2 did. It actually beat out Maverick. That's
what it was. It beat Maverick
for the first place. It's like, okay, screw you, Tom Cruise.
So yeah, she's going to catch me just close by. She's coming home with her daughter, and she's passed out in the car. I got to help bring her inside. So we're gonna rush the end this real quick and kind of talk about the press conference on Thursday. I was talking to a buddy of mine about it, and I don't know if it's because they got rid of Kevin Dunn. I don't know if it's because they are under the UFC umbrella in regards to their parent company. But something about that press conference had a much different feel to it than, what we're used to seeing. Like it while still very much predetermined and very much, outcome pre-written, just something about it just felt different. And it was a welcome change from what we've all been used to for the last couple of years. The backstage thing with The Rock, dropping F-bombs and and the whole nine. It was just like, all right, this is I know it's scripted. I know he's not really mad, but the fact that they're letting him do it, because they missed 2 of the shits with the drop button. You know what I mean? Like they missed 2 of them. So and granted, it was on.
They're really not good with the drop button. They got to put on like a little longer delay because
they do.
They'll bleep out like entire stuff. Like you'll watch the shows, especially NXT. They are really slow on that. You can get about 6, 7 holy shits going, and then then they finally catch up to it. But then you're like, and then another stuff gets going. And you're like, oh, this is annoying.
Well, look at NXT this past week where they're chanting "fuck you, Mello." and then during the break, they came out and they're like, "You can't say that. You're gonna get the show kicked off the air. So don't say."
They're really, really gonna have to place that when they go to the CW next year.
Yeah, they are.
Really gonna be a problem.
But yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting next couple months. It's for the first time ever. I don't know where it's going, and that makes me feel surprisingly good to be like, I have no clue where the story is going. I can't predict where. If it was going to still be Rock and Roman, we would have known Thursday. Oh, cool! So Roman's winning he's winning at Mania and going on to break Hogan's streak because they're not going to put the belt on the Rock. They're not going to do it.
No.
So you just gave us the most predictable match you could have possibly given us 2 months before it's supposed to happen. And people are still like, well, I guess the Cody Crybabies won. It's like, if you fuckers think for a second that this was not the plan from the beginning,
right?
You're all dumb. They worked us all. Just admit it. Admit that they worked every single person into thinking that it was going to happen. and for it to not happen. And where it's going to go from there, it's going to be The Rock as the board member going nose to nose with Triple H on whatever the case would be, because we all know Hunter can't wrestle anymore because he has a friggin' defibrillator in his chest, so he can't wrestle anymore unless he wants to be like Mickey Rourke and the wrestler and hop off the rope and do a fucking elbow drop and die.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm looking very much forward to Mania, and being we probably aren't going to night one because I think the resale ticket value is going to go up substantially with The Rock possibly being there that weekend. So we probably are not going to go to night one.
I don't know. Should we sell our tickets?
Absolutely
Should we try
not.
to see what we can get for them, or is that
absolutely
not
fucking not? I'm going to be there.
No. Yeah. We need to be there. We also need to, and this is a conversation I had with my editor last week because he was a big WWE fan as well. It's got to be a quickly paced. Plus, they moved the start time up, so that means we're getting out of there by 11. There's going to be someone. It's either going to be the commissioner, the mayor, the DA. Someone is going to be in, whoever the heck it is. If whoever refs in, it's going to be like at 10:50. It's going to be go home. We're gonna have to finish this thing off. The pin might take place at 10:55, so they can do the pyro and be out because there's a hard 11 o'clock. That was the Morgan Wallen show we were talking about.
Oh right, yeah.
In June, remember after that big Friday night storm, where people were getting in fights at the fucking concourse at the link because
it's so fucking stupid.
Because drugs are bad, okay.
But anyway, we're gonna cut it there so I can go make sure I can help her bring the tiny human inside and get her to bed.
Portable human. So
yes, portable human.
You remember those days?
But we will be back next Saturday for this all over again. I thank everybody for the comments and for hanging out and for talking to us and watching the show. We kind of fluctuated between like 5 and 7 people today, which is more than we usually had. Other than that, you can follow us on Twitter at Verge_radio. You can follow us on TikTok as well at Verge Radio. Jeff, you have you still doing your podcast thing, or is it still on hold?
It's on hold right now, but you can check out the past episodes, crypticsouls.com, cryptic with a K, souls with a Z. Check us out. Let us know what you think. We're still big in Germany.
Awesome.
And, so hopefully this year will be totally different. No personal tragedies, dealing with alcoholism. Yeah. Not me. I drink enough. I'm good.
Oh yeah. I drink the right amount.
Yeah.
And Marco down here at Serena Royale on Twitter.
Right. You can also buy my actual work in a newspaper at the Philadelphia Tribune.
What's a newspaper?
What's a newspaper?
It's a newspaper. It's this thing people use to line animal cages. The guy who used to be with us can probably speak better to that.
Can I get it on a tablet?
Actually, you can, because the website is phillytrib.com.
Oh, awesome.
I also still don't understand the whole concept. See, I'm so used to the visceral satisfaction of reading a book or a newspaper or a magazine that being able to do it with
What's this book you talk about?
Yeah, I'm not sure what books are. What's a book?
Is that like a Twitter or whatever the hell they call it now?
Yeah. It was Twitter for like back in like the 1400s and shit.
All right, guys. Well, enjoy the rest of your nights, and make sure to check out the Convo with Jackie on Wednesday. Me and Nick have no show this Friday. Our show is bi-weekly because he does streaming for his job on Friday nights as well. So I'll have him send me over whatever he has to send me over to let you guys know where to watch that stuff at. It's going to be on his Twitch channel, Mug and Play, but I'm going to find out about that for certain. And we'll be back next Saturday. We got a lot of stuff still to talk about, and I'm going to be hopefully have some news for you guys and some things we have upcoming down the pipeline for the show as well. I kind of alluded to it when I did a video update for the show, but we're working with a couple different PR companies that we used to work with a couple of years ago. So we are in the process of beginning to possibly start doing the giveaways again for different concerts here in the area. Getting some new music to play when we can. And so we have a lot of things in the woodworks, a lot of things in the pipeline for you guys. So again, thank you for watching, hanging out with us. We're back here next Saturday at 9 o'clock. Other than that, Jeff, Marco, Jimmy, wherever you are, be safe, guys, and I'll talk to you. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
And